So, hi everyone. Welcome to the Awakening Female Leaders with Empower Thyself initiation. I'm so excited you're here tonight. I can't wait to share this with you. It's the reason I was born. I love it. It's fun, and I can't wait to get into it. So, let's go ahead and move forward. So, here we go. Here's the presentation for tonight. And you know what? Why am I talking about this tonight? Well, a lot of women, they come into my office, they're these amazing female leaders, they know it inside, but they're stressed out and they're burned out and they're repeating the same patterns and days fly by and they look back and they're like, oh my gosh, it's already August, I had all these goals, and it's just like this rat race pattern of people knowing what they're here to do, a lot of people, knowing what they're here to do, but like not being able to execute it and getting really frustrated with that. So I wanted to talk about that tonight. So before we get into it, I should introduce myself. My name is Bynum. I founded Empower You in 2015. It's a healing center for women. I'm a professional healer. I'm known for my networking skills in the Boston area. I'm a spiritual guide in the lineage of King Solomon, which will make more sense to you after tonight. I have a podcast, that's the Empower You podcast. I've also established relationships with Whole Foods. Maybe you've seen me doing Reiki there. Arbella Insurance, Lululemon, Boston Speaks, Hi Kit if you're watching this, State Street. So I've got a lot of established networking relationships, so perhaps I've seen you around. So my goal tonight is I want to talk to the female leaders that are watching this, and I want to help to awaken that leadership that I see so many struggling with, that they know that they have these skills, but how to actually execute them. And so here's my disclaimer. So even if this is the greatest webinar of all time, it's not going to be a substitute for doing the actual work of what I'm talking about tonight. So we've got to do the work to actually get out of our own way and step into those leadership roles. So where are you struggling to lead in your life? Is it in your relationships, in your finances, spirituality, career? A lot of times I see in the leadership field, it's like we have our strengths. So there's certain areas that we're really good at, and then other areas not so strong at. So, where is that area where you really want to improve? But if I'm going to talk about this even further, we've got to talk about, what does struggling mean? What does that word actually mean, to struggle? So for tonight, we're going to talk about, for the purposes of this webinar, if you're struggling, it's that feeling of being burnt out, stressed out all the time. Distracted is a huge one. It's like you have all these goals and plans and yet nothing gets accomplished. I know no one's like that, but I'm just sharing. Or you're just stuck and you're just like, oh, I keep doing the same things over and over again, and really frustrated that you're not stepping into that growth and into that power. So how do we take care of this problem? What do we need to do to heal? So, maybe you've heard me share about it before. I'm going to keep sharing about it and share about it and share about it some more. There's an ancient pathway that's been around for 3,000 years, to be exact, but thousands of years. And this pathway is going to help you to rise into your leadership role, to get out of your own way, to be the badass that you know yourself to be. And some famous leaders, right? We're talking about leadership tonight. Famous leaders, I know you've heard of them. You've got Mother Teresa, Da Vinci, Einstein, Walt Disney, the Beatles. I told someone yesterday, one of my clients, that Paulo Coelho is initiated, and she freaked out because he wrote The Alchemist, and that's amazing. So if you're into leadership, this is probably a great webinar for you to watch tonight. So what is the name of this ancient pathway? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's in the title of the webinar. So it's called the Empower Thyself initiation. So here's what initiation is not. So it's not something new, right? I kind of talked about that. It's thousands and thousands of years old. It's not something I invented. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. That's been passed down from teacher to student. It's not a way to avoid your problems. So, you know that saying, the only way out is through? Well, that's actually true. So you can't go around your problems, but you can face them, and face them with the light, which we'll talk about some more. Initiation doesn't add something to you. So you're already perfect. And what initiation does is it just strips away the stuff that really isn't you in the first place. So it strips away those masks, those fears, a lot of the ego-driven stuff, to help you to just be authentically you. And initiation isn't a seminar company. It's a very different experience if you have been to some seminars. It's a very different way of looking at life. So here's what initiation is. So initiation is beginning, right? So it's beginning a new way of life. And it's again stripping away what isn't really you. So what we mean by that is stripping away, working on the wounding, the things that, probably have you out of alignment if you're seeing patterns or disruptions in your life. Where are you out of alignment, and how can we bring you back to your truth? There's something that happens with initiation that there's a leap of faith to it. And it usually happens after a person realizes, like, oh, hey, like, I'm going to need help to get where I'm going. I'm one of those people. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm not sure I can do this on my own. And I need assistance in bringing out that leadership skill, or bringing out, the best that I can be. It's a way of serving yourself in the world. So when you get better, right, you can help the world to get better too. When you work on your patterns and the things holding you back, you can really serve more, because from that place of healing, you have so much more to give. And I say this a lot, it's so much more than a badass life hack, but it's just a fun thing that I say because, someone that was initiated, she said that. She's like, wow, it's like having playing a video game and having like cheats. So initiation helps you to heal, which we're going to talk about in just a second, at a much more rapid pace. Okay. Oops. Here we go. So there's a couple things you need before you get initiated, which I'm not going to do a webinar on tonight, but I will do a webinar on them soon. So there's something called life activation. A lot of you watching have probably been life activated. And, that really starts the process of bringing in more light, bringing in more awareness, helping you to see yourself, to get more clear about what's really going on and where you're out of alignment. Spirit activation really works on your emotions, and so that's another healing that a lot of people choose to do before they get initiated. And spirit activation, it really assists you with, that emotional piece, that decision-making piece. If you're someone that struggles with decisions, I'm definitely one of those. So if you struggle with your decision-making process, this can help you to be like, nope, this is what my soul wants, this is what I'm doing, and not question it. And then, so those are two things you can do before you get initiated. But then initiation is really important, because initiation is where you actually anchor in that power. It's where you actually anchor in your light. And you have rituals or tools that you use every day to repeatedly, stand in the higher self, stand in your power, bring forth that leader within, and own it. So let's answer the question, how does initiation make you a better leader? Well, I'm going to tell you 4 ways that it can help you to be a better leader. So the first point I want to make tonight is it's going to give you 10 times more light that you can use to direct towards what you're trying to accomplish. So, like I was saying with the clients, it's like, how did I spend 10 hours on this task and, I didn't get done what I wanted to get done that day? Or how am I still doing all of these things and it's August, and I said by August I was going to have A, B, and C accomplished, right? So, initiation is going to give you the light, so it's going to give you a lot more power to be able to get out of your own way and to execute. So I've got some case studies tonight. I'm using fake names here, obviously, to protect clients. But let's talk about Jane. So Jane hated her job. She flat out hated it. She worked in Waltham, hated her job so badly where you count down the minutes, that kind of hate. And she knew that she was born to do something in nature. She was very clear on that. She needed to be outside and working. So she got initiated 6 months ago, and she is working as a park ranger in Denver. So Jane was like, you know what? I'm going to step into this role of why I was born and, what I know I'm here to do. And she did it. And she got initiated, and she's doing great. So I've got some testimonials as well tonight. Athena, if you're watching, hi Athena. Athena's amazing. She also, she keeps stepping into leadership every single day. She owns her own acupuncture business. She co-wrote a song that won a Grammy. She's an amazing woman, and she says after she was initiated, it was the most rewarding thing, the most rewarding growth that she's had. So that should, that's a huge testament to the power of what happens when you have 10 times more light in your life. All right, point number 2. I hope you're keeping up with me. Point number 2. So when you get initiated, you get daily rituals to help you to I've kind of talked about this, to help you to anchor into your power. So, again, you're getting the tools so that when you feel off, you wake up kind of groggy. You're like, what year is it? What time is it? You press the snooze button 5 times. Like, how do you get into alignment quickly and efficiently? And so, that's what's cool about initiation is you get the tools, and, the same time maybe that it requires you to brush your teeth or put on your makeup would be the same time that you have these amazing ancient rituals to anchor in your power and to step into your leadership role for the day. So we've got another case study, and this one is more about relationships. So as I was saying, a lot of times people are really strong in certain areas in their life, and then other areas not as strong. So there's a lot of badass CEOs out there, and they're working on a piece, right? There's usually some piece that's holding them back. And so Susie, she's a badass, of course she is, but she was having trouble in her relationship. She was in a horrible relationship that was really holding her back, very abusive, restraining orders, the whole thing. And Susie got initiated again, I believe, 6 months ago. And, she got married. She met someone completely different online, no restraining orders, none of that. But it was like cleaning up that area of her life that was holding her back from being more of an effective leader, because, her energy was drained by that relationship. So when she switched relationships to a relationship that wasn't draining, she was able to bring so much more to the table, and she still is. So let's get into testimonials. You know what? I have another relationship case study. So Heather is another example. She's a leader. She works with youth. She works in the school system. Awesome woman. Love her so much, even though that's not a real name. And she was in this relationship, and I see this a lot too, the on-again, off-again boyfriend, but not really claiming what you want. And so she was with someone for 10 years, and he really wasn't stepping up, and she was kind of like, I don't know, I want a family, I want kids. So she got initiated very recently, and she's already done with that relationship. So she's like, you know what? This isn't what I want, and now I'm going to own and claim what I want and lead in relationships. So now we got a testimonial from Sophia. Sophia is like the boundaries queen, and Sophia is really good at establishing boundaries. And, she's learning how to do that to be a more effective leader. And I really appreciate you writing a testimonial if you're watching. When she speaks about initiation, it's kind of beautiful to watch, because it's almost like, how do I put this into words, what it's done for me? And she always talks about how, like, basically what I just said, like, how do I put into words the power of what this has given me? I can set boundaries now. I see myself differently. Those type of things. All right, number 3. So our third point tonight is initiation gives you a protection of your energy field. And this is so important for my women leaders out there, or those aspiring to be women leaders, right? Because when we get drained by others, it's not helpful, right? It's not helpful for owning your power because you're drained, right? So how do you step into your power and into leadership when you're feeling overwhelmed by family, friends, colleagues, all those types of people that show up in our lives? So case study for Lily. So Lily was one of those leaders, and Lily's like, you know what? I'm born to have my own healing practice. I'm born to have my own therapy practice. I'm not born to be in this office space where I'm getting drained all the time. My clients, she's taking on really intense clients, and she's like, these aren't the clients that I'm looking to work with. How do I create what I want? And so, she's been pursuing this therapy practice goal for a year, and I believe that she's taking tests. There's a lot of requirements that go into it, but she's going hardcore towards that goal. And she's been initiated for less than 1 year. So she's made a huge transition in terms of accepting what was and moving towards what she wanted, which is a great, is what a leader does, right? So now we have another testimonial. So Christina got initiated 6 months ago. She wrote a book. She's an amazing woman. She's done all kinds of leadership things, lots of consciousness practices. She actually used to be someone that helped me a lot. And Christina, when she got initiated, she just, says, this path of light work was really helpful to her. It helped her to transform from a lot of doubt and worry into more calm. And so from that place of calm, it's much easier to lead than it is to be stressed out and panicked and anxious all the time. All right, our last point for tonight. So initiation, it's going to give you a strong foundation for handling challenges and obstacles. And so anytime you're aspiring to be a leader, you know what happens? You get challenges and you get obstacles and you get things in your way, right? So you need something to help you with those times. The things that, come up and you're not necessarily good at, and you want to make, it's holding you back from making that impact that you want to make. It's like, how do you create the foundation for handling those times? And so that's what initiation will do. So we've got a case study with Annie. So Annie, also an amazing woman, of course, but she knew she was born to lead, but she was having a health crisis. And when you have a health crisis, of course, it's hard to lead, because how are you going to step up and into your power when you can't even get out of bed, or you're too weak to move, right? And so she was very sick. And, she got initiated, and I think it was about 2 years ago. She lives in Europe. She's studying for what she wanted to do, which was midwifery. And, she doesn't take any meds anymore. She's healthy. I would never say that initiation, treats, or I can't make guarantees like that. But what I can say is it really helped her to move forward and to gift herself what she needed to get better. All right, so we got another testimonial. So this is from Corinne. Corinne, thank you for writing this. Corinne was like, should I do this? Should I not? Corinne always wanted to travel the world, but she was too afraid to do so. And, it's like we have these big dreams, and they just get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And so Corinne was like really frustrated with that, because she's like, okay, I have these dreams of traveling and I'm too scared to do it. And so she got initiated, and next thing I knew, she was in Mexico, and then she went to Amsterdam, and she's off and jet setting, and having the time of her life. So, I think initiation helped her to move past that block of traveling and to really own and claim that she really wanted to see the world. So again, what will you receive from initiation? Well, again, you'll receive 10 times more light. So we talked about that light to help you towards your goals, and, to help you, to stop you from getting distracted, to stop you from repeating the same patterns all of the time. It's going to give you those rituals so that when you wake up in the morning and, you need something to help you to anchor in your power, you've got the set of tools to be like, yep, I'm ready to go. Put on your cape and be that superwoman. You're going to get the protection of your energy field. So again, when people are draining you, when you're like, oh my goodness, if I have to hear this story one more time, the things that really take your energy and stop you from leading, it's going to help you with that. And then, give you that foundation for handling the challenges that will undoubtedly come up. If you are a leader, you will face challenges. It's just part of the game. And so having a foundation to fall back on versus just trying to use tricks that you may have learned here and there. If you can get a foundation in the light that's very ancient and based on tools, it will really, really help you. So, what would more light mean for your life? Whoops, went way too far. 1 second. Here we go. Okay, so it is possible to have the life you want. Hopefully, if you're listening in, yes, I will confirm it is possible to create the life that you want, whether, that's healthy relationships, a stronger connection to yourself, more focus and energy to reach your goals, whatever it is true for you. You can do those things, and I want you to know that tonight. And that's a big part of my mission, is just for you to know that it is possible. And so initiation is really going to help you, because it's going to help you with the inside work that shows up in your life. So if you don't know already, a big universal law is as within, so without. So whatever's going on in here, whatever patterns, whatever's showing up for you, it's going to show up in your outside world. And so initiation is going to help you to clean up the inside stuff so you can get what you want in the external world. So I am part of a mission, and I love my mission. So my mission is to help awaken women leaders. And so I want to help people to lead, because there's so many of us that are born to really make an impact and to serve and to anchor in more light on this planet and to be badasses. And, I feel really sad when I see people not or struggling to do that, or certain things getting in their way. So let's change that and help you to awaken to that potential and to that power. So if you move forward with the initiation process, it's a full 2-day training. So you'll get a full 2 days with me in my office in Brookline. You'll have guidance before the initiation, after the initiation, during the initiation. Again, 10 times more light, rituals, protection, a strong foundation to stand on. And again, this is 3,000 years old, you guys. This isn't like playing around. This is like, hey, this works, and it's withstood the test of time, and it worked for David Bowie, and it worked for Joan of Arc and Cleopatra. It will work for you too. It's not an exclusive club or anything like that. It's like, here it is. Do you want it? So if all you get out of initiation is, hey, you're less stressed, you leave that unfulfilling relationship, you have more hope in your life, you wake up in the morning and you know who you are and you anchor that in, that works. That would be a huge difference maker for many, many people. So if you're interested, let me just move myself out of the way here. If you're interested, there's going to be an initiation, not this weekend, but next. And I want you to get in contact with me, and you can just go to my website. There's a contact form on there, and just, write a few words. Let me know what you're looking for. Maybe I can help. Ask me questions, get your clarifications, and or if you just want details or anything like that, let's talk about it. Let's have this conversation, and go further with it. I'm here to help and to serve and to just help you on your path. So you actually do have 2 choices. So the first is you can, keep doing what you're doing. I know a lot of people, they'll like pull spiritual things here and there and kind of try to figure things out on their own. But when people do that, what I see is it leads to a lot of confusion, and they're kind of like, I don't know, this person said this about the chakras and this person said that, so it must be this past life, or it must be this, or what's my karma? A lot of those type of questions. And I want you to be a spiritual gangster, right? So let's make you a spiritual gangster, and you can do that by signing up for the Empower Thyself initiation, which is your second option. So you can just sign up and receive these ancient teachings and not have to go through the guessing game. And you can move forward in your life, and you can have what you want, and you can really claim yourself and your power. So from my heart, there's no question that the world is really struggling right now. There's a lot going on. And, if one of us can just remember our power and step into more alignment, that's going to change the world. The more of us that can do that, the more of us that can really take a stand and anchor in light and say, yes, I'm here to serve and to make an impact, which I know speaks to so many of the people I work with, and I love you all and you're amazing. But, if we all do that and serve our communities, it's going to make a huge impact. And, if you know people that are struggling, or, women leaders that are like, you see them and you're like, okay, I know that you're born to lead, and you see them and you want to help them, maybe you could share this webinar with them and let them know that this ancient pathway exists. So again, it's going to be next weekend, August 4th and 5th. I hope that you'll join me. You can check out my website, Empower You. Again, let's have a conversation. Use the contact form. Let me know what's going on with you, and we will talk, and we will make any clarifications that you need, or I'll just answer questions, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'd love to chat. All right. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. I'll respond to them right now, right after the webinar, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.